If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I think one of the most frustrating things for all of us who are awake is the fact that this stuff is not just, people like to act like we're looking for these things and we've convinced ourselves in our heads that this stuff is going on, right? Where in reality, these people are being so naive because you have celebrities admitting to these things, admitting to selling their souls. And you sit there and you just go, are people not listening to this? And they're like, well, it's just a cliche. Why is it a cliche? Where did the cliche start where celebrities would say, oh, well, I sold my soul to the devil for fame and fortune, right? And we hear it over and over and over. And when people hear that, they don't laugh. It's not like the audience is like, ha, 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 whoa, good one, ooh. They're always saying this. They're telling you. And flat out, people ignore it. Listen to, all of these celebrities, at one point or another in an interview, if you can catch them talking somewhere, when they talk about fame and fortune, they always talk about the devil and selling their soul. But people think that this is a work of fiction. In reality, this is the world that we live in. The people who are the influencers, the ones who are famous and rich, and the ones that everybody strives to be like, the musicians, the actors, those types of people, they're only there to influence you. And they're in those positions because they've been put there, because they're part of these secret societies. They don't have any extraordinary talents. Sure, there's some of them that, sing really well. Whoop-did-he-do. But they summon spirits to do those types of things. They do invocations and all that type of crap. But these celebrities are always talking about selling their soul, and nobody ever seems to want to listen.
Still do it. Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see. Try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic. It's a different kind of a penetrating magic. And I did it. I did it at one time.
Doing really well now, but didn't you release a CD like almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, I released a gospel record when I was 15 because I grew up in, a household where all I ever did was listen to gospel music, and my parents are both traveling ministers, and so I kind of sang about, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. Because I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music,
Yeah.
but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
I can try, but then it just doesn't happen. I can sing notes and sing strong and do all these things that when I'm just by myself, I can't do. And I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me.
I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
Why is your hand over your eyes?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. We're talking about.
It's a little bit off subject, but the same kind of principle. I heard that, and I won't mention his name, but it was a big leader and founder of a huge satanic organization. And he was on his deathbed, and for a Satanist at the time of death, it's a great victory for them, because death is a huge thing that they celebrate. And he was getting ready to die and pass on his powers and that. And on his deathbed, he must have got some revelation or an angelic appearance or something. And he went into shock, and he said, "Oh my. Oh my, what have I done?" He said, "There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong."
Wow.
And his whole life had been spent propagating these satanic beliefs, getting everyone to believe, establishing official organizations for Satanism. And then at the end of his life, he gets this light that comes to him, and everything that he built, he realized was.
I was like, now I have to do something pretty ridiculous and insane with my life. So why not sell my soul and go on Jersey Shore?
The battle with the devil comes in many forms, and it's waged on many front lines. We've seen the harrowing journeys of exorcism and deliverance ministry. We've taken a deeper look at the Amityville horror. Now, did the devil make you do it? Can an obsession with Satan wreck lives and drive people to kill? It was a gruesome crime. 15-year-old Elise Paler was lured into a grove of eucalyptus trees by 3 teenage boys in 1995. They bound her neck with a belt, stabbed her repeatedly, and then raped her. Her body might never have been found if one of them, Royce Casey, hadn't come forward. He said she was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed virgin, and they were offering her as a sacrifice to the devil. The boys were part of a death metal band and thought that Satan could make their music better. Casey said it was an idea they'd gotten from Altar of Sacrifice, a song by the heavy metal band Slayer.
I bruised the waiting dagger in half, spilling the pure virgin blood. Satan's slaughter ceremonial death, answer his every command.
Paler's parents filed suit against the band, trying to hold them partially responsible for their daughter's murder, a suit that was eventually thrown out. But for many believers, heavy metal remains inextricably tied to the devil, a kind of doorway or portal, like Ouija boards, witchcraft, or other occult practices that can invite the forces of darkness into a person's life. Dave Mustaine is one of the gods of metal, a founding member of Metallica and the founder and frontman for Megadeth. He says he has no doubt about the devil.
The greatest lie he's ever told was convincing people he doesn't exist. And you know, you see people, they think that he's like red. He's got a goatee and a pointy tail and stuff like that. He doesn't. He's very beautiful. He's an angel. Why would he look like some monster? He's capable of looking just like you. He could be in this room right now. We wouldn't know it.
That's a scary thought.
It's a very scary thought.
Mustaine is currently on tour in Europe with what's called the Big Four, his current and former bands, plus Anthrax and Slayer. Are people right when they say that heavy metal music is infused with the power of the devil?
In some cases, yes, but not in all cases, because you've got great heavy metal bands that believe in God and glorify Him. We pray every night before we go on stage.
That sounds great.
For a 50-year-old,
you happy with it?
50-year-old man, I feel pretty damn good.
He shows me a chord progression called the tritone, also known as the Devil's Interval.
The Devil's Tritone is made up of these 3 notes, and this note right here drops down 1. So it goes. So listen to the difference. It just sounds evil, doesn't it?
It sounds darker. Which is why the progression is used so frequently in death metal. Mustaine says he is a Christian now, but wasn't always.
My mom was a Jehovah's Witness. I was brought up as a witness, and I revolted into the witchcraft because I hated going out and knocking on people's doors.
Yes, witchcraft. As a teenager, Mustaine says, he cast 2 hexes. The first was on a bully who sucker punched him.
From what I heard, he got in a car accident and something happened to part of his body that I had targeted in hex, and that showed me that it was real.
The second was on a girl he was in a class with.
Everybody wanted her, including me, but she was so out of my batting average and just totally out of my league. And I did it, and the next day she was in my apartment.
You were convinced that these hexes, spells that you were casting, worked.
I was, and I do believe in the dark side. Most people think that, black magic and witchcraft and stuff like that isn't real or it doesn't work, and I know that it works.
Mustaine's fascination with the occult continued into his adulthood.
I was doing a lot of blood packs with people. This is before we found out about AIDS. It was real simple stuff where you cut your thumb and you rub it with somebody else and become blood brothers. I don't want to make a spiritual covenant and mixing my life with somebody else who I don't know who they are or how they are. The Bible said that blood is life.
And like so many people we have met, Mustaine believes that he opened the door to demonic forces, which had a profound impact on his life.
Was your abuse of alcohol related to the satanic influences that you'd been dabbling in?
I'll say this. Every time I drank, I did not always do activities that were satanic, but any time I had been doing anything that was satanic, I had been drinking.
So
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. There was a relationship then.
Absolutely.
There are some songs Mustaine will no longer sing. Like Megadeth's cover of the Sex Pistols' Anarchy in the UK. And he says he believes he's better for it.
I think that I'm more dangerous now that I've become a Christian than I ever was before when I was trying to go the opposite route, because I'm armed with the truth now.